judge took involuntary manslaughter charges off the table for the two APD officers who shot and killed James Boyd last year. But the officers are not in the clear yet. News 13's Gabrielle Burkhart was in the courtroom all day. She's here with more.
Jessica, a third day of witness testimony is over. Despite the officers' request in court to dismiss all charges against them, a judge today decided he hasn't heard enough to convince him of that.
The state rests its case.
After 3 days of witness testimony in a preliminary hearing, attorneys for now retired APD Detective Keith Sandy and Officer Dominique Perez asked a judge to dismiss all charges against them for killing James Boyd last year.
Surrendering is when 4 officers are yelling at you, get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. You get on the ground and you drop the knives.
The defense maintains Boyd never surrendered, threatened officers in the hours-long standoff, and had 2 knives in his hands.
He did what they said, and his last words were, "I'm trusting you to keep your word." And as soon as he took a step, they flashbanged him and tased him and sicked a dog on him.
The judge decided to leave the second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, and aggravated battery charges on the table. He only dismissed the involuntary manslaughter charge, saying pulling the trigger wasn't an accident.
The evidence, what I've heard, is more of intentional, and I haven't heard much of anything unintentional.
Earlier in the day, he heard from the state's forensic expert who recreated the scene and says Boyd did turn from officers when they fired 6 shots in less than 2 seconds.
Mr. Boyd has started his turn when he is shot.
Any doubt in your expert opinion on that?
No.
The defense questioned his credibility and pointed out the state is paying him to testify.
And how much were you paid to be here today?
I bill at $195 an hour.
So will it be another $5,000 to $10,000 by the time you leave here?
For the 3 days, yes, sir.
That same forensic expert said in court today that 2 out of 3 shots Keith Sandy fired hit James Boyd. He says only the first of Perez's 3 shots hit Boyd. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Gabby. A big part of this case is, of course, the lapel cam video taken from police that day. Detectives don't have video from Keith Sandy or Detective Richard Ingram, who fired a taser shotgun. The lack of video from him sparked enough curiosity for the judge to chime in and question the APD detective who investigated the shooting.
My question is, when did you request, or did you request, his lapel camera at the time of the incident?
I don't believe so. I believe it may have been missed.
Detective Rendor went on to say he didn't request the video from the on-scene sergeant until 8 or 9 days later. By the time he got it, the video had been cleared and the Boyd encounter wasn't there. The hearing will continue tomorrow morning. You can follow along on our live stream all week on KRQE.com.